Record.
Good afternoon. We're going to wait for a few more attendees. Everybody's logging in. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. It looks like we have almost everyone who was registered. Okay. So welcome aboard new Texas HAF subrecipients. I'm Laura Sainty, the training coordinator for Texas HAF, and this is the first of 3 mandatory trainings. This training is the program overview. Before we begin, let's go over some housekeeping. All the materials will be posted on the Texas HAF subrecipient web pages, and a recording of this training will be added under the HAF training videos. We'll have a dedicated Q&A at the end of this session. You may submit questions throughout the presentation by using the question box function in the GoToWebinar control panel. Also, there are 2 helpful handouts in the handouts section of this webinar that you can download. One more thing before we get started. If you logged in using your personal email, please include your name, email, and the organization you are representing, as this is a mandatory training, and we want to make sure we capture your training hours that are required by your contract with us. So the learning objectives. Learning objectives are of the program overview are mortgage assistance types, property charge assistance, and utility program. We'll also have some program resources and identified trainings for you. Today's training covers the program overview. The full training will consist of 2 more trainings, one on the housing contract system and one on fraud prevention. Today, we will discuss how the program will be administered, what resources and trainings are available to you, and who you can reach out to for assistance. Tomorrow is the fraud prevention training. The final training on the housing contract system will be scheduled soon. There is a recorded housing contract system training on the TextHalf video site that we encourage you to review beforehand. We will start the training with an overview of eligibility and assistance, program elements, and then discuss the program resources ending the training with the training. So, eligibility requirements. The most important thing that is required, since these are COVID funds, is that the homeowner has fallen behind due to COVID impact. Homeowners who are behind in one or more areas, whether that's mortgage, property tax, property insurance, homeowner condo association fees, and or utilities, may be eligible. Homeowners must meet the income requirements of 100% of the area median income, which you'll hear called AMI, or lower for that household. They must own and reside in their home. The home must be located in Texas and be in the applicant's name. It cannot be a second home. They must have experienced a financial hardship after January of 2020 and be 45 days behind. So for the state of Texas, we decided to split assistance into 2 mortgage programs, a mortgage assistance program and property charges. The mortgage assistance is available to qualified homeowners for any type of delinquent mortgage. They have to be past due, and the total assistance per household is capped at $65,000 to reinstate the mortgage. If the past due amount is above $65,000, we will not be able to assist, as we must bring the homeowner current with the half assistance. Once reinstated, we will then reevaluate if they are eligible for 3 future months of mortgage assistance. Go to the next slide. The future payments are based on certain criteria. Not all types of mortgage assistance allows for future payments. If they meet the mortgage criteria, which is based basically on income and their ability to either make payments or not make payments in the future, and other factors submitted through their application, you will see their case broken into a subcase for each future month. All payments will be made directly to the mortgage servicer. We will not make payments to the actual homeowner. We use a common data file called a CDF between the state of Texas and the servicer to confirm any type of verification that is needed about the homeowner, the loan itself, how far delinquent they are, the amount that's due to reinstate the mortgage, and with the good through date of that assistance. Once verified through the CDF, if the homeowner qualifies for 3 future payments, we will also do the same process for each of those future payments. We will pay each future month directly to the servicer. Both the homeowner and the servicer will be notified if approved or denied. If eligible, the notification will provide the amount that is approved and if future months will be paid. For property charge assistance, there's a $25,000 cap to reinstate any delinquent charges that may include property taxes, HOA fees, or insurance. The $25,000 is included in that $65,000 total cap per household. So homeowners are eligible for each type of assistance only one time. They cannot receive the same assistance type again. An example of that would be if the homeowners requested $5,000 in property taxes and $2,300 in HOA fees, they cannot come back in the future and ask for property tax or HOA fee assistance. Same goes if they apply for mortgage and say they get $30,000 in mortgage assistance. They cannot come back and ask for more mortgage assistance in the future. It's a one-time in each category. Same with utilities. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Hasiel Perez, who is our Utilities Program Manager for HAF. Hasiel?
Thank you, Laura. So I'm going to go over the utility program. The Utility Payment Assistance Program started on September 29th with about $100 million allocated for utilities of homeowners in need. Homeowners must submit a past due utility bill, and if approved, homeowners will receive assistance for the past due amount and up to 3 future months, based on an average billing method, not the actual future bills. If the ABM is more than their future amount, the utility vendor will keep the credit. If it is less, the homeowner must pay the difference. Payments will be made directly to the utility vendor by check in one lump sum. Important to mention, TDHCA also has other utility programs available. The Texas HAF Utility Payment Assistance Program is one of our 3 main programs. Moving on to the next slide. Going over the eligibility criteria for the Utility Payment Assistance Program, a bill must be past due and dated within the last 45 days from the application date. The homeowners must reside in the home they own, and the utility service address must match service address in the bill in the home they own. The cap for the program is $10,000. Homeowners may apply in two ways. The homeowner previously submitted application. If the homeowner previously submitted an application for mortgage or property charges, the homeowner may go into that case and add utility assistance. The other option is if the homeowner has not applied at all, then the homeowner may create an account and complete an application. And now, next to continue, our half subrecipient liaison, Mr. Richard Castaño. I
Richard,
think you're on mute,
unmute,
Richard.
please.
I'm sorry about that. This training is for subrecipients who will be offering intake, housing counseling, and legal services. Some of you may be offering only one or a combination of services. Regardless of which type of service that you're providing, all people assisted must meet the HAF eligibility requirements. Next slide, please. So we'll move into the services and learn more about intake centers, housing counseling, and legal services. The purpose of the intake centers is to help homeowners apply for HAF funds and to ensure priority populations have access, such as those who are at risk of foreclosure, live in rural communities, are part of an underserved population, or belong to a socially disadvantaged household, or live in a persistent poverty county. These homeowners are reached by conducting outreach events to educate homeowners about the eligibility criteria that they must meet to obtain the funds for assistance. Next slide, please. An overview of the intake process includes eligibility requirements, demographics, and documents to verify identity and delinquency. The homeowner rep, which probably going to be your intake center staff or your intake specialist staff, are to ensure the application has all the required documentation and assists in the process. A frequently asked question about this intake process is if you can submit a paper application. The answer is no. An intake specialist can be provided with a paper application as a guide and as a resource in helping the homeowner apply through the online portal. But all applications must be submitted through the online portal, and all documents must be uploaded into the portal as well. Intake centers can assist homeowners in person, for office interviews, at offsite pop-up events, or in mobile units, and even by telephone or virtually. Next slide. Applicants may be referred for housing counseling or legal services. Referral to housing counseling should be made for those who do not qualify for the program. Housing counseling may include those delinquent in their mortgages who need additional assistance to achieve security and sustainability, or those who have been denied. Applicants will be referred to legal when they are at risk of foreclosure or are currently in the process of foreclosure. Legal services will be used for mediation between lender and homeowner to provide credit correction and enable households to obtain clear titles to their properties. The first step in the referral process is asking the applicant if they want virtual or in-person assistance. Then find the nearest service provider, which can be located on the Texas HAF website, which is available to both subrecipients and applicants. Ensure you refer applicants to bring their case ID number, which can be found on the Texas HAF applicant portal, the name of the subrecipient organization that referred them, and the application materials and other necessary documentation. The purpose of housing counseling services is to help homeowners improve their financial sustainability. All homeowners receiving financial services through this program are referred to housing counseling. There are also going to be homeowners who are not eligible for financial benefit, but will be referred to housing counseling to resolve financial issues to prevent delinquency or default. Housing counselors are required to be HUD certified, experienced in loss mitigation counseling, and have experience working with homeowners in the HAF program. The next slide will outline some of this HUD curriculum. All topics reported on HUD Form 9902 are eligible for reimbursement under HAF, which include the courses listed on this slide. The final service is in the program are legal services. This service includes counsel to assist with foreclosure, tax liens, and other legal issues that create an unsustainable household. The services include counsel and advice and limited action regarding third-party mediation. It is important to remember that all services must be directly related to housing stability. This slide contains a list of legal services or activities that may be provided to assist homeowners in housing stability. And now I will turn it over to my colleague, Brittany Moreno, our Texas HAF Subrecipients Project Specialist.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. Good afternoon, everybody. I apologize for not having my camera on. My office space is currently going through some interesting remodels, so I didn't want to scare anybody. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about some program resources for you. So we're going to cover 4 major things in my part. We're going to talk about marketing and outreach, what we'll need from you, the onboarding manual, and the Texas HAF subrecipient website. So our next slide will lead us right into the onboarding manual. And this contains this list that you'll see in front of you. And we ask that you read through the manual in its entirety before beginning your program, as it will contain many requirements that you will definitely need to know. So I won't read them all, but just to point out some that are here. So in this manual, you can go ahead and find the program goals, governing requirements, the housing contract system, outreach, performance management reporting, budget and invoicing, and just different things that you'll need to know before beginning your program. So our next slide will take us to marketing. On the marketing side, we have a fantastic marketing team available at the high level and to get the word out from a broad standpoint. But on your level, we want you to get the word out to your communities, as you know these communities better than we do. So statewide marketing is doing digital and media, radio spots, at-home mailers sent to eligible homeowners, billboards across the state, and partnerships with tax assessors, loan servicers to help get the word out to their homeowners. We've also created a marketing and outreach toolkit that is available on the Tex HAF website. And all you have to do is click on the resources tab. This includes sample social media posts, flyers, branding guidelines, and videos that you need to be successful. All materials have been approved by TDHCA, so you may cater these marketing materials to contain your logo or your contact information. But we ask, and something that you cannot do, is change any verbiage or language on the marketing materials without prior TDHCA approval. Any material created outside of these posted materials must be pre-approved by TDHCA before being used. For more information on materials, please contact Felipe Romero, whose contact information may be found on the last slide. So on the next slide, we'll talk about outreach. On the outreach side, we brought on board several subrecipients who are doing amazing efforts in terms of getting the word out regarding the Texas HAF Fund. Whether it's inviting your community to come to your office for support, or going out to the community by doing pop-up events, or partnering with your local food bank, doing some wraparound services to mobile services around the rural areas to provide these services. We have a Texas HAF subrecipient SharePoint where you will find the outreach form to notify us of upcoming events or activities. We ask that you notify us 10 business days in advance of the event, location, and information of the event. So really, it's the who, what, when, where. If some occur quickly, please let us know beforehand. So our next slide, which we mentioned about the Texas HAF outreach point, is the SharePoint. So we have created a subrecipient SharePoint, which we want to onboard you all to, and it really is just a means for daily open communication from you all to us and vice versa. Also, it's if you want to talk to any of the other subrecipients, if you want to share success stories, anything like that. So what I'll need from you to go ahead and process this is if you submit your name to me, your email address and phone number for the staff people that you would want added. So something just to quickly add to that is the email must be unique. So let's say that you have a shared inbox for all of you, that wouldn't really work. So it needs to be like all of ours, you know, brittany.moreno@tdhca.state.texas.us. So if you send me your name, your phone number, and the email of the person for your organization, we can go ahead and get that started. And a SharePoint, like we said, will have that outreach form. It will have other information that we need to get to you quickly. So it really is beneficial, and we really want you to take advantage of all these resources that we have. Once we go ahead and have that information and we send it to IT so they can add you, you will receive an email that looks like this on our next slide. And don't be alarmed when you see it. It is not spam, we promise. It does say that it's coming from, let me see, Microsoft Invitations on behalf of TDHCA, and the subject says Bob Gross. So that he is somebody who works with our IS team. So when you see this, be on the lookout for it, as I believe, to my knowledge, we cannot send it again, but it will get to you, to your email. So don't worry that it's anything fraud or any kind of spam. It is coming from us, and this will give you access to the SharePoint. So thank you so much. I will now pass it over to Miss Laura, our training coordinator.
Hello again. So we've developed a lot of materials that are posted on the TextHalf SharePoint, the TextHalf website. In addition, we have added virtual opportunities for open communications. Let's go over each of the resources. We created a website specifically for TextHalf subrecipients, where you can go to find what you need. This website is not for homeowner use or loan servicer use. Homeowners and loan services are to be directed to the TexasHomeownersAssistance.com website, the one where you go in to submit the online application. And there they will find information and how to apply. The TextHalf subrecipient program page, which is this one, contains forms that you must complete and submit. It has tools and guides, including an FAQ document that has been developed by questions asked by your TextHalf subrecipient peers since the beginning of this program. Please read them all, as they will answer many, many of your questions. There are training videos as well. This training video will be added to replace the old one, and there is one on there of the housing contract system. The left-hand menu will link you to the housing contract system, our contact information, any NOFAs put out by TDHCA, and a TDHCA email list. There is a website navigation handout under the handout section in today's webinar for your use that might be helpful to get you started. So we do host a virtual forum where we communicate program changes, progress, and updates. Most importantly, this is an opportunity where you can share what is working for you and ask questions of your peers that's working best for them, or ask us questions. These are held twice a month on Wednesdays from 10 to 11 a.m. You will receive an email with a registration link the Monday before each forum. You can register for all the slated forums and save the series to your email calendar. So there is an application portal training. That's it was a recorded session. It's just been revised to every other Wednesday. And this is also posted on the TextHalf website. It can be found under the HALF training videos on the TextHalf subrecipient webpage. It can also be found under the resources page in the Texas Homeowners Assistance webpage. So the housing contract system will teach you how to obtain access, request advances, draws, and submit monthly reports. There is a posted supplemental report that's an Excel workbook that you must upload monthly. This may be found under the draws and reports on the Texas Subrecipient Program guidance page. A pre-recording of the Housing Contract System training is posted under the HAF video webpage, which we encourage you to watch. The Housing Contract System training will also be delivered to you one-on-one by your assigned contract specialist once you get access to the system. Tomorrow is the fraud prevention training. You should have received a registration. Please be sure to attend, as there have been attempts to commit fraud, and this training will help you identify what to look for. Every Thursday, I hold at half open office hours via an MS Teams meeting. This is an opportunity for you to have an organic conversation about the program, your needs, and how we can help you help Texas homeowners in need. It's a great time to just talk things out. We recently added a subrecipient check-in meeting. We ask that these be prioritized and attended by your appropriate staff. During these meetings, we're going to ask you to give us your version of how you think you're doing. We'll provide you with the data as to what we see that you've been doing, and we'll look at what you may need and how we can help you and provide resources or tools. There are important links, and we encourage you to visit these for further information, such as our Tex HAF Policy Manual and Find Help feature on the Texas Assistance Fund, a Texas Homeowners Assistance.com website, as well as other resource materials. The next slide shows you all of your contact list information for the Tex HAF Subrecipients Activities team. We are your resource for questions, guidance, and reporting. The general email box that's at the top is for submitting questions. Please do not attach homeowner documents to emails. We ask that you upload them to the online application portal. As long as you can see them in there, so can everyone else. We are to receive all inquiries, which we review and route to the appropriate staff for response. The staff contacts are listed next to the types of requests you may have. So here are the types of requests. Here's the staff position, name, and their email address. And now we will open it up for your questions. Please use either the question box to type in your question or raise your hand, the raise your hand feature, and we will unmute you to ask your question. Let's see if we have any in so far.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple. I answer one, and Ms. Luna has a question.
Okay. Tracy asked, will we have access to this webinar online once the webinar is over? Yes, it will be posted. And then, let's see, who else do we have in here? How about households that were approved for mortgage assistance but overlook or not considered for the 3 future months payments? Can we appeal? Can appeal be considered? We automatically review each mortgage assistance one to see if they are eligible for the 3 future months. So they should automatically be moved into that. If you do not see it and you think it might be eligible, you can email that case number and the information to the Tex HAFSA email address, that general email address that's on that last slide. And then we'll check into it. Can you share all of the HAF application required data fields so we may create an intake paper application that covers all the required information? That is already posted on the paper application that's on the Texas Homeowners Assistance.com website. Do we also have that in the SharePoint? Do you know, Brittany?
I don't believe that it is, but I could be wrong.
Okay, we'll double check that. Is the program assisting mortgages that are under an estate? The way it works is whoever is the homeowner on the deed and on the mortgage statement has to match in order for us to make payment to the loan servicer. So if for some reason say dad passes away and gives a home to the daughter, you should refer them to legal services to get that name transferred so that the daughter can be eligible. And whoever is applying must reside in that home. It can't be a home that they own that somebody else is living in. I hope that answers what you needed. Under what conditions are program participants eligible for utility assistance? If they're behind, Hasiel, do you want to answer that? Are you still on?
That's what I was thinking about. They, going back to the eligibility criteria, they have to be past due, and they have to submit the required documentation. But could you? I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what conditions is referring to.
So typically, if they're income eligible for the program and they have a 45-day past due utility bill, then they would be eligible for utility assistance. The only time that might not happen, something to think about, say they owed $55,000 in past due mortgage, that they got that assistance, and they owed $10,000 in past due taxes. That takes up the entire $65K, so they're not eligible for anything else because they've used up the whole pot. I hope that makes sense. And if you want individual questions taken care of as well, you can either email us or you can meet with me during open office hours going forward. It says, does the same name have to be on both the home and utility bill to receive help for both? Hasi, I'll let you answer the utility section of that.
Correct. So the name has to match on the service address has to match, the name on the bill has to match. If not, we will do a review and consider any other person that is on the bill. They have to be a verified occupant on the application. So if the name doesn't match on the bill.
Okay. And there are also other programs that do utility assistance that might be able to help that we can refer them to as well. And let me see if I can see if there's anyone with a hand up. Nope. So I think with that, we have answered all the questions, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the fraud prevention training and working with you individually in the next weeks. So welcome aboard, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone, and welcome.